Good morning, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I'm going to do the March 14th Spiritual Principle Day in a meditation. Let's go ahead and get into the meditation. Commitment to our spiritual well-being. Continuing to take a personal inventory means that we form a habit of looking at ourselves, our actions, attitudes, and relationships on a regular basis. That comes from the basic text, chapter 4, step 10. I'm in big trouble when I start to think that I've arrived, the speaker shared. Lucky for all of us, I'm committed to the daily maintenance of my spiritual condition. I continue to take personal inventory, and that gives me regular reminders that I'm a work in progress. The steps lower our tolerance for living an unexamined life. Once we've seen the benefits of regular introspection, we can't unknow what we've learned about ourselves or forget the fulfillment we find in this innate way of improvement. To turn our backs on this path creates discomfort, and our patience for that sort of spiritual pain is not what it used to be. And that's a good thing. We commit to taking stock of our part in every situation and recommit as often as necessary when we let the pace of modern life squeeze out time for contemplation. Some would say this commitment is the practical exam of our recovery. We need introspection to grow the way that seeds need soil, sun, and water. Understanding the strengths of our character as well as our vulnerabilities, being aware of our motives, striving to do the right thing, and being willing to make amends when we do harm. All of this is fodder for our personal inventories. As one member noted, my 5 favorite character defects may never disappear entirely, but regular inventories help me to see them coming. With that, we can humbly ask for their removal. Yes, again. And in that moment, avoid acting out, harming our relationships, and feeling ashamed. Self-reflection pays off. This makes us willing to commit. How am I still tending to my spiritual well-being? Am I still finding my part in situations that trouble me? Do I need to recommit? Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. Thank you. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Talking about commitment to our spiritual well-being, and we're playing off of, right? This is like a segue off of the Just for Today, where we were talking about relationships and doing these 4 steps on relationships and looking at the part that we play. And how once we've done that 4th step, the goal, right, is to continue on through the process, but eventually we land in the 10th step, which is a more frequent examination of our behavior, because we do it on a day-to-day basis, right? We're doing our 10th step regularly, examining our behavior and making prompt amends when needed, right? We're not allowing things to stew, right? Or simmer and become, more intense over time because we haven't addressed it, right? We're being in a position now, we're being able to actually see our character defects coming down the road. And we're saying, oh, okay, I noticed when so-and-so said that, I kind of got an attitude. Okay. All right. So I got an attitude, and I know why I got that attitude, right? Fear, you know, and the expectation that eventually, you're not going to like me like you say you do. You're going to actually reject me at some point in time, now that you know a little bit more about me. And so when they said that, it felt like they were throwing shade. It felt like they were about to drop the other shoe and end this friendship, this relationship. And so I am reacting now to anticipating my worst fear: abandonment and rejection. So now it's about sabotaging this relationship I'm going to get you before you get me. You will not have the last laugh. You will not hurt me. No, 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 no. No, my character defect won't permit for me to allow you to go ahead and chop my head off. Nope. So what does that look like? I see the character defect coming. I've gotten an attitude when somebody said something. I understand that this is fear in operation. And I have a choice now to go ahead and act out on it, go into my shortcomings intentionally now, because now I understand how I operate. And so instead of checking myself, calling my sponsor or someone else I trust, hey, I'm in a mood. Woo, baby. So-and-so says such and such. And I just immediately went to, okay, so you basically want to end the relationship but don't know how to say it. And so let me get you before you get me. And you start talking about it and you get it off your chest, and you haven't done no harm. You haven't hurt anyone. You haven't fallen short, your shortcomings. Yeah. You haven't acted out, in other words. Not yet, because you're talking about it in a spirit of maturity. Or you scratch that itch. Next time you see him, maybe not even next time, but hopefully next time you've given yourself some time to think about what your response is going to be. Next time you see him, instead of saying, I gave it some thought, what you said the other day, and something about it rubbed me the wrong way. And I just want to let you know, if you don't want to be with me, bye. See you later, bye. Don't let the doorknob hit you on the way out, because nobody is going to treat me that way and talk to me that way. You go that route instead of going the mature route, which is, I gave it some thought, what you were saying. And you know what? I'm so grateful for you in my life. Man, I don't even know. I was upset after you said that, but you know what? There's something to what you said, and I just want to say thank you. I'm going to take a look at that. What you about to do? You want to go for a walk? See, I'm giving you a demonstration right here, right? This is a 5-star podcast today because I'm giving you some information and some insight into Mighty Stream's life. How I've done things the wrong way and I've done them the right way. And it is always a better feeling applying the spiritual principles and the knowledge I have of the steps, right? Applying them to my life. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, right? I become able, not only able, but willing to apply these spiritual principles in all of my affairs, not just some, not picking and choosing, even though I know today I can pick and choose. Back to that lady in Chicago at that convention, I can definitely pick and choose, just like she picked and chose to get in my face. I had a choice in that moment to lean more into my recovery or lean all the way out of my recovery. Right? You can do the same thing in the face of a situation, in the midst of it. You can make a choice. Because when we do that, we give ourselves empowerment, we give ourselves options. We don't have to deal with the sting of embarrassment and shame and self-condemnation as a result of acting foul. We don't have to do that today because we are growing up in recovery. And this is one of the ways we do it, by using our step 10 to help us monitor what we're doing, when we're doing it, how we're reacting, how have we let some of our spiritual principles become just thoughts instead of actions, and where we need to move further into actively applying these spiritual principles, right? Because when we do that, right here, with that, we can humbly ask for their removal. Yes, again, and in that moment, avoid acting out, harming our relationships, and feeling ashamed. Self-reflection pays off. This makes us willing to commit. So are you going to commit to your spiritual well-being? And really, ultimately, the spiritual well-being of those you're in relationships with? I am. I absolutely am. You know what? Because when I get done with this podcast, I'm going to make some very healthy wraps, right? I'm going to use lots of vegetables and turkey. I'm going to make some healthy wraps, and I'm going to put them in a container in the refrigerator. And when my children come home from school today, they are going to grab themselves 1 or 2 wraps. I'm not going to walk in the door late tonight and have to still prepare, right? Because I know that they know that I love them, and I'm going to do something to show them that I love them. That means something to me and will mean something to them. Just a little bit of preparation, right? For the day goes a long way. I'm going to recommit to doing something different so I don't have to experience the pain of not doing it different and standing up for a whole hour exhausted after I've worked over 12 hours, okay? So my name is MightyStream, and I want you thinking about that. That's my application. Your application might be call my sponsor and say, you know, I need an appointment. Can you look at your calendar right now and tell me when you have a 2-hour gap where we can actually do my step work, right? I know that's the case with my sponsees. You need to reach out to me and let me know when you're available so I can look at my calendar in that moment and block that time off. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. So you have to do your part too, right? So maybe that's your recommitment out there. Maybe you folks out there, that's what you're going to recommit to. Or maybe it's something else. But you know what? When you commit to or recommit to your spiritual well-being, we all, and I do mean we all, have a much, much better go of it, don't we? You know, I've enjoyed talking to you today. I'm smiling ear to ear. If I wasn't in my robe, I would actually pop the camera on for you. But I won't be doing that. Yeah, I want for you to have a beautiful day on purpose. You deserve it. I tell you that all the time. You really do. So recommit today, all right, to your spiritual well being and have a beautiful day. Talk to you tomorrow.